Hey folks, it's Saturday. It means it's role-playing time, and that means it is Slayer's D20 time this week. Hooray!
Right.
Hooray!
All right.
We're
When
totally
we
heroes.
yes, totally heroes indeed.
Zarkov's totally a hero.
When we left off last time, the party had gone from what was the name of that stupid town again? Sandoria. I remember this time. Aha!
Yay.
To the small fishing village that's just outside the lost library. They had a. This is after a lengthy chase and battle at sea with the Wolfman sorcerer, and many sea dragons.
I did good.
Hopscotch over. That would have been awesome.
Yes, and then we would have not had your character anymore, Eric.
Would have been awesome.
Briefly, yes.
You may have 2 fists, but 5 dragons have 5 mouths.
That would not have been the problem.
I grant that, but that's about the coolest way I could say it.
True. Yes, you may have had two. You may have 2 fists, but there are more than that number in terms of numbers of competent sorcerers over there.
Okay, now someone's cooking something, and I can't tell if it's turkey bacon or kielbasa. What the hell?
Oh, in your house.
No.
Got it. Anyways,
Either
so
way, it sounds delicious. Although one is heretical.
Irrelevant. Anyways, so you guys, the moved on from the village up to the just outside the library, where you found. You can go to the ancient library forum map if you'd like.
Uh-oh. I have a bad feeling about this.
Not really that bad. There's someone camped outside the outside the walls of the library. There's a small campfire, and you see a familiar gray-furred wolf wearing gray traveling robes, with a sword buckled at his hip. Looks at us. Oh, it's you all.
Hello.
There are 2 Leonards on the map for some reason.
It's because it's the old one.
Ah,
Yep.
okay. That'd be why. Yes, I can copy over.
Yeah, I did a quick switcheroo with the old Angrim token.
Yeah, I'll take care of that with Zarkov, actually. And we should switch over to the.
Okay. Let's see here. Jaxie pulls out his book with 2 pages. One listed people we should trust and people we can't trust. He realizes looking at this book, there's almost no one on the people we can trust page, other than the librarian.
Angrim sneaks a peek and realizes that she's on the don't trust list.
The
Hang on.
Mazaku from earlier is written on the do trust list with an asterisk, which leads to an annotation: "Do always screw us."
Anyways, Varkas looks up and sort of says, well, my friends, I see you have found the library as well. It has
Yeah.
been some time, hasn't it? Several months.
Yeah, how have you
Oh yeah, I
been?
remember you now. Hi, how's it going? Why'd you go up that way?
Well, your friend Leonard here said that the place I was looking for, in particular, the location of the compass thing, was up in that abandoned temple.
Oh.
Did I?
Okay.
It has been a few months. I don't remember too well.
Yes, well, there had been a magic compass there that led to the library,
Oh,
but someone had beaten me to it, unfortunately.
pity.
Yeah, well, it happens. Though, according to the villagers nearby, some people who sound very similar to you guys had moved through the area at the time.
What?
Not to be a stickler, but I don't think Leonard ever told this guy his name. I think he only knows him as the Crimson Shadow.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, I think the only person they would,
He
the
didn't
only people they
address
would,
him as Leonard.
yeah,
Right.
these are the people like you, not yeah.
Yes, people matching your roughly matching your descriptions.
I don't think there are wanted posters there. We didn't destroy anything in that town.
Zarkov's looking confused.
He actually just sort of pulls Zarkov's ear and kind of whispers a few bits of details to him to clarify. Don't say this out loud.
At any
Well,
rate,
It's a good thing you made your way here eventually. I'm glad to see you found your way.
yeah, it took me a little while to find the place. I mean, he shrugs. Not sure what to do at this point. There's a big empty lake in there with a gigantic kraken inside.
Ah,
Ingram is just going to produce a marshmallow and start roasting it over his fire.
Okay.
where do you get those things?
I think marshmallows are the least of my concerns.
It's like the quote from that one kid from Parker Lewis Can't Lose. There's the sound of Velcro opening up, and she just pulls out whatever she needs out of it.
That's
So
not
the-
quite what I had in mind, but it's similarly dubious, so sure, why not?
So, what are you planning to do now then?
Well, if I can find a way past the kraken, though it's decidedly odd. It seems just mostly intent with making weird noises at me and keeping me out.
That's certainly.
At least you're in one piece.
Well, it grabbed me at one point and sort of held me there, and then it put me down and shoot me out of the room. So, I quickly determined that I really couldn't do a whole lot to it directly. So I've been thinking about what to do now. And then you all showed up.
Yeah, well,
How did we talk to the librarian last time?
in character or in character, out of character?
That was totally in character.
Wait, that's the librarian? Oh.
I said that out loud, didn't I?
That explains... Oh, all those legends! Huh. That connects the dots.
Do tell.
Huh. So the librarian and the guardian are the same, one and the same.
Good job, Zarkov.
You're welcome.
Jaxie just sort of pulls Zarkov's ear down, like it's like it was as in. Next time, don't do that.
Well, I don't have an inside voice.
That's not even what a voice refers to.
How do you think? How do you process anything without saying it aloud?
I punch it.
That doesn't answer anything. Oh.
I think that answers everything.
Yeah.
If Zarkov was a Pokemon, his ability would be own tempo, because he never gets confused.
All right.
Huh. So I take it you've been here before then, since you know that that's the librarian.
Mm-hmm.
I scowl.
He smiles cheerfully.
He's a decent guy once you get to know him.
I forget what Vargas told us the first time round about why he was looking for this stuff. Honestly.
He's looking for the Book of Days specifically to help defend his little sort of group of shaman and such from predations from evil, sort of a cult of evil sorcerers and such.
Okay.
Yes. Jaxie's stance is, regardless of intent, someone looking for the book of the Book of Days as a tool
Right.
probably can't be trusted.
That's why I got rid of him.
Yeah.
He has the best of intentions, but he's gonna get in the way. So yeah.
Oh yeah, his intentions are great.
Road to hell, paving, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't just punch the sorcerers. I mean, that solves all my problems.
Yeah, well,
Ingram kind of gives Zarkov a look.
Well then. Okay. What do we tell this guy?
I don't know. I'll be interested to hear.
All right.
I kind of pulled Jaxie and Ingram into a huddle and kick Zarkov away.
Ah!
All right.
Ingram has a half-melted marshmallow on a stick.
Okay, guys, what are we gonna do? No, not you.
What?
It's like,
Also,
right,
you're really bad at kicking.
Well, the librarian's translation orbs are currently broken out here, and there is a man in town who is working on making some.
well, so you're saying that we assert that the translation orbs don't work and send him to deal with getting them fixed, so that we at least have some time to make our delivery and secure stuff.
I more had in mind that I wouldn't have to go pick it up myself, but that idea is good too.
Because basically, the thing is that we can't let anyone know, other than the librarian, what we're dropping off here. And of course, the Book of Days isn't here, if I'm not mistaken.
So
Like
if we
your
tell
church.
him to go get the translation door, we can go inside and drop off what we came to drop off, and then come back out once he's got the delivery ready.
I would assume that we have enough time to do that. Yes.
Well, you have to go back to Sindoria, which is at least a day or two. So,
Right.
it'd be about 3 days round trip.
So we'd have plenty of time.
Oh yeah.
All right.
And there's no question on when that translation orb is actually going to be finished.
Oh yeah. You have no idea. It's going to take time.
Yeah. Well, I. Let me
All right.
just-
So we can so we can tell him that we came back to check on the status. If he says that he can't speak with the squid, then we know that we can't. There's no point in us staying here. But if he wants to communicate with the squid, he can go and do it. How's that?
Sounds about right.
Okay. All right.
It's good. All right.
Ingram
I guess-
resumes roasting. her
I guess
marshmallows.
Jaxie looks to you and looks to Leonard and says, and Jason, which one of us is going to pitch the story?
What's your bluff score, Skitch?
Oh, you want me to pull it up? Let me just look at my character sheet for a moment and act totally shocked when I pull up a oh wait. Oh damn, bluff isn't my good skill. It's diplomacy.
Yeah,
It's not.
Yeah, he doesn't have bluff. I'm the only one who has bluff, and my bluff is 6.
I have a +8 in bluff, but
Oh, you do?
that's yeah.
That's fine.
I think I should do it.
Oh, right.
I've
You
got
have
a plus
You
0.
have rogue. Right.
I have 5 ranks of bluff because I needed that for diplomacy.
And I have
and
ranks.
taunt.
I have ranks in.
Yeah,
bluff
you got
as
it
well.
from.
Yeah.
You got it from rogue. Right.
Yeah, and then let's see here. I got my +21 diplomacy and my +21 taunt. I can't taunt him away. I mean, I could, but that would not help us too much.
I have ranks in bluff, but this type of bluff is not my specialty, so I only have a +6.
Yeah,
Like if it were a bluff related to maintaining my secret identity, I would probably have higher score than Jaxie, I think. But yeah, in terms of selling this story, Jaxie's got the best chance out of all of us.
yeah.
I think we can make checks to assist by like.
Sure.
I guess let's see here.
I'm kind of inclined to like just start rattling on. Just see how it goes.
Okay, so we'll go up.
Like Ingram's right here. She could open up the
Right.
door.
Right. So I will.
I wonder how the translation orb back in town is coming along.
Oh, right. As I think was a problem when we came by here.
Yeah, the poor dear over there, he doesn't his translation orbs have been broken for some time now.
Yeah. So even if you have no harmful intentions, there's no real way to communicate that with them.
Uh-huh.
So,
Is it-
you know,
is
Well, you could try Pictionary, but that takes a really long time. And there's a
There's a
lot of
gentleman-
water, so the paper gets wet.
There's a gentleman back in town working on a replacement, but we've been out doing things, and that gentleman still isn't done. So, if it needs to be checked up on. If it's done, then we can continue. If not, then we'll probably just go off and do other things.
it's good to hear that everything seems to still be in order here. I mean, he's still carrying on protecting the place, even if you can't really communicate with people.
And to be fair, because of that, it helps keep this place more secure and safe for what's contained within.
Okay. We'll need
So-
to check at some point.
Yes,
Bluff!
I'm trying to.
Bluff the stupid ogre. Sorry, I had an order of the stick moment.
I got
Yep.
you.
Hey, I got 20.
I forgot if I was talking about cooking, I could get a +2 on this. Actually, that should be a 21 because the bonus is actually higher than it really is for some reason.
So it's it's +8. This is 21.
Be plus
Alright.
8. Yeah, I don't know why it's. I don't know why
Engram
it's.
is successful assist. That's 23.
Unless having ranks of
Alternative
diplomacy helps out in bluff, and I didn't account. Let's see here. Oh, that's right, because having 5 ranks of diplomacy gives you a +2 to bluff, doesn't it?
Probably.
I think so, yeah.
That's why. So it isn't a
25,
+10.
Fine.
Yeah.
Give me a roll, Nick.
And to assist. Ooh, 21.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we got a 25 in
27 total.
combination.
Actually, 27 combo.
Yay! This is one of the best results we could have hoped for.
Well,
All right, let me think about. I got to think about a couple things before I make his roll.
okay. I had an idea for how the follow-up could work here, because to explain what the goal here is to establish what the precedent is, and then the request would it be a bluff?
Oh no! I'm just debating whether he's going to see through what you're saying.
Ah, I'm just saying.
I'm just debating what various circumstantial bonuses he's going to get for various things.
I mean, my character is cute, so I'm not sure what that does.
My character wears a mask.
Well,
You gotta trust a guy wearing a mask.
cute is neither a bonus nor a penalty for the situation sketch. So
I know, I'm just being facetious.
I know. I'm just debating.
I've got a plan B.
I'm sure you do.
Let me guess. Does it involve tying someone up?
Plan H is killing him.
Wow, that means it's a few
I
steps there.
have to figure out the other 6 plans in between as well.
So does Zarkov die in Plan M?
Oh, he dies in Plan
I was just gonna mind control him away.
No, he dies in Plan R.
And
So,
Plan Q.
so apparently this outcome is something out of a survival horror game where there's like 10 endings and 6 of them are you die. Looking at you, Clock Tower.
Okay.
Sorry, someone asked a question in the chat that I wanted to answer quickly. All right. Okay, I should make the roll here. All right. All right. So, D20, not DO2. He gets better than a D2. All right. Now, what is his sense motive? That is the question I have to check.
I don't think shamans have that as a thing.
If he was purely a shaman, that would be probably true. Word, but he's not. He's not purely a shaman.
Well, I'm not purely a sorcerer, so.
You're not purely a lot of things, but
I think I'm the only pure class in the party, so.
I am purely beautiful. There is no question to this.
Yeah, well, Eric has a prestige class.
Yeah, that's why I included that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, shaman is a prestige class, so.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cute characters gaining +2 bonus to appropriate skill checks. This generally applies to bluff, diplomacy, hide, and taunt.
Oh shit! Sense motive is a shaman class skill. Well, we're screwed.
Uh-oh.
Not necessarily.
Nope.
Yeah, I think it is a class skill for virtually all his classes.
Fortunately, that doesn't double his ranks.
This is true.
Okay. Continue formulating Plan B.
I'm looking at something real quick here. Synergy here.
Yep. All his classes get sense motive.
All right.
So my number of ranks on the sheet is actually correct.
Okay. Let me I'll just double check one other thing, but I think. Yeah, the only reason why I have the reason why I have the +2 in there is not because of the synergy, but because of the cute fiat. So it is 10.
Okay.
It's 10 or it's a 12? No, it's 10.
It might be 12 then, because I've got a +2 on there, and I think that's from diplomacy as well.
No, I don't. No, diplomacy does not have synergy with bluff. It's the other way around.
It doesn't? Damn it,
No.
where's my 2 coming from then? Oh, because I'm beautiful, of course.
There you go.
Where is sorry. What time of the day is it, by the way?
It is currently early evening.
Okay, good.
All right. I just have to do the math here. So his sense motive is that. Plus, he's getting some bonuses for various reasons.
It's like, you've lied to me before.
I have no idea
Leonard.
what
Yes,
you're
I know
talking
your
about.
name.
No, he doesn't.
No, he does not know Leonard's name.
I know, I'm just teasing.
All right, his total is.
He saw through the lie so well, he learned stuff about you that you didn't even lie about.
Huh. Interesting.
Did you just roll a 1?
No.
They rolled a
He
20.
rolled-
He did not roll particularly well.
Ooh.
Ooh. We might make this after all.
Sort of. All right.
He might see through certain parts of the lie.
That is sort of where I'm going, honestly. But
Right.
you'll see. So he sort of looks at you and says, aha.
Expectant look.
So you have no way of communicating with the librarian either, then?
At present, no.
I see.
There is.
We found some writings around the area that gave us the idea of just who and what that is, but that's about it.
I see.
I believe.
So do you know how long it'll be until this translation orb thing is going to be finished?
Commissioned it a while ago, and the gentleman seemed rather enthusiastic about it. Really, it's just a matter of cracking the code, as it were.
Aha.
Yes, and we don't have any way of directly communicating with him to confirm whether it's done, so. That would. So it would probably involve just going to him in person to see whether it's ready to go or not.
Yeah, I'll just give the artificer's address.
Out of character,
Yep.
we did this on our way back here, right?
Yes.
Word did this just a few days ago.
Right.
Yeah, that's
I was
where
just
my,
thinking-
That's
will
what I was
be-
like, we didn't do this on our way out, right?
Nope.
no. This is was a recent development, and that's where my lying is coming.
Yeah,
from.
I need a bluff check from you on that one word, by the way.
What, 3 days is a while ago to Zarkov.
Dinner was a while ago to Zarkov, and that was only 2 hours ago.
That was part of the cluster there.
The cluster.
You have to bluff on the individual details.
Yeah, this is a follow-up thing.
Right.
Uh-oh.
0 point.
Fair enough.
19.
So, 19. Okay. He nods. Well, so given that it was not ready when you were there last, what brings you back out here now?
That is actually a good point. Out of character.
I actually said so during our explanation.
I missed that then.
I said that we wanted to check on the situation to make sure that everything was still okay.
Okay. Thank you.
More or less. Basically,
enough. I missed that.
That is
I
probably
missed
the vaguest part of the explanation. So
yeah, basically, Jassy would follow up with that, or say basically, we've noticed that there are several interested parties in this location, and
one of them summoned a giant projection image of himself because he's a vain douchebag.
Yes, he certainly is. He certainly is, and with the amount of magic some of these entities possess, it is not infeasible for them to have found some way of tracking their way here. So it's a matter of just making sure that the location is still, as far as we can tell, safe, along with its contents.
Fascinating. All right. Well, so you've had absolutely no luck communicating with the librarian, then, is what you're saying.
Pictionary.
All right, Eric.
Are you asking Eric to bluff?
I'm sort of thinking about this for a second. I'm debating whether his reaction that is going to assume that Zarkov is just either being silly or is actually trying to tell the truth and is not.
I was going to say, flip a coin and determine.
Yeah, that's sort of the. He sort of looks over at Zarkov, shakes his head, and looks back at the rest of the group. No success at all, then.
Not any particular strong, out of perhaps some outside ability of determining that he is in fact friendly and is in fact the librarian, as you surmised from what we said earlier.
We'll put it this way: first time that we came across him, my first reaction was just to cut him the fuck open, and that didn't work out so well.
No.
Oh, did you try that too?
I tried influencing him with magic. It kind of went kerpoink.
It's surprising how powerful an entity like that is.
Well, he is very, very apparently very. He's a very large Kraken, so he's probably very, very old.
Yes. Though, to be fair, that is at least fortunate that such an entity is guarding this place, if the rumors are true about how extensive its contents are.
Well, I may just get some sleep and see if I can think of a new approach tomorrow morning. You all are welcome to make use of my fire. I'll see you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. With that, he sort of trudges off a bit and goes and grabs his bedroll and lies down.
Good night.
Jaxie just sort of thinks on something and then just sort of walks off in this direction for a moment, motioning for Leonard to follow him.
Ingram continues to roast marshmallows.
Okay. So he's asleep.
So he's off over here somewhere.
If he's asleep, what is the chance that we could fake a kidnapping of sorts?
What?
Okay, just follow me through on this. All right, we have
What are the chances he's actually listening to us while pretending to be asleep?
Yeah, but that's why I'm like over here.
You're not being included again, Zarkov.
Or at least,
Or you come over here. Have some marshmallows with me.
I was 100 feet out, and I'm whispering. We could maybe have.
Okay, Peter. From
Yes?
my knowledge of tracking down various members of people who act outside the law, do I think that we can be heard from this distance while whispering?
Not unless he's got really good hearing.
Okay.
And besides, we just keep walking this direction as I talk, if we wanted to be cautious. But essentially, it's like, well, here's the thing: we could cover up his head so he can't see anything, and fortunately, and have him be
Why don't I
carried
just
off.
get inside during the night?
Could do that, but I suspect he'll wake up partway through the night and notice that we're missing, and then go investigate,
That's what
and
I
then
said.
see.
He, I.
Yes.
Look.
No, that's a good idea, because then if he asks any questions,
If the librarian organizes all four of us, I'm the one who's least noticeable. I'll just take it inside.
just say the thing is, if he wakes up, we can simply say that you're doing a patrol.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, that's fine. Just, you'll need to get the thing from her.
Yeah.
That might actually be harder than getting in. You know that, right?
The hell is this?
Let's be honest. You're not Zarkov. You're not just gonna reach in there and grab it.
I keep telling you, she has it on her back. It's in a sheath.
I'm going to maintain the dialogue. That doesn't matter. In either case, Zarkov will just reach and grab it.
Location, location, location. That's all.
It
I-
doesn't matter to
he-
Zarkov.
Actually, he might notice that the sword is missing.
You would. Wait, does he even know what that sword is?
Probably not.
Good. Okay. If as long as there wasn't much attention given to it, good. I keep on stacking on these bluffs, but
Is it possible, Peter, for me to do a sense motive to try and recall if he paid any particular attention to Ingram's sword?
Sure, why not?
Okay. 16.
Not that you really noticed.
Yeah, I figured. Maybe if I had been asked him to do that at the time, but yeah. We'll see.
here's what we'll do. During the shift where you're in there, I'll be awake, and I will be cooking.
I've got an idea.
Yeah.
It would be easier to convince Ingram to come with me and drop it off. Let
Then I think
Zarkov, if he wakes up, let Zarkov tell him where we are.
What?
Because Zarkov will have something to say and it won't be a lie to him.
you
Because
sure?
he's stupid.
Are you sure that you want people thinking about that, about you and her? Because Zarkov's going to say something about like that.
That anyway.
Zarkov is going to say something about you.
Zarkov's going to say those things anyway, and I use it to my advantage.
This is only going to make things more. This is only going to make things more awkward for you later on.
I know! But he's away for a good reason.
Okay, but let's get to an equally important question. What do you want for your bedtime snack?
What?
And Jack just starts walking back towards the fire.
Oh God! You guys almost got me while I was drinking some water.
Okay.
If you're to do a sense motive and break a 5, you would know that he's just indicating that conversation's over. Let's just do the plan.
Yeah.
It's his version of thieves' can't. It's called cook's can't.
Oh dear.
All right.
Or chef's can't. Okay. Let's see here. I'm thinking. Okay. I'm trying to think of what I want to be on ready to. Probably gonna make something that I can set near the fire so it can just kind of roast and or bake.
Ingram hands you some marshmallows. Here, pull up, have some.
No, but I can use those for something. He's basically going to use some of his resources to make some sort of basically some sort of cake-like thing that he can wrap in some parchment-style paper and rest near the fire so it can basically slow warm through.
Okay.
This sounds like
So-
the most pretentious s'more ever devised.
It's something similar to a s'more, but it's more like a cake, but less like a s'more. Yeah, let's just do cooking. I'm thinking of something out loud, and maybe this will work into something, but also it's an excuse to cook some food. So, okay, and there we go. Oh, I could have hero point that. No, hero point that. That's better than my bluff attempt.
Well, because you're significantly better at cooking than you are bluffing.
That certainly is true. In fact, that should be a plus 18. That's a 25. Hooray.
All right. Well,
Marshmallow cake. Nah.
all right. So time passes. At some
Going to
point,
no-
do you want to have?
I'm going to nudge Ingram and basically motion for her to come with me.
Mm-hmm. Ingram will bring her marshmallow with her.
Fine. Come on.
Yes.
Finally!
Just as planned. Okay, listen. We gotta sneak the sword inside during the night.
Seems risky, but okay.
Come on, let's do. We're gonna do this. We're gonna go in a roundabout path so Zarkov doesn't know exactly where we're going.
Does he ever?
Shut up. Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna move silently while Zarkov is eating his cake, basically.
All right. Both of you can give me move silently checks.
I'm gonna use bluff on Zarkov to distract him. So
Go for it.
The +2 I have for the fact that's cooking is offset by the fact I'm trying to deceive Zarkov, whom I'm loyal to. So that's a 17.
What happens if I try to carry Ingram?
She's pretty heavy, isn't she, compared to?
Well, she's heavy for a guy with strength 10.
Yeah,
Ingram is kind of 180.
What's Ingram's move silently bonus or penalty?
Her move silently is 0. Her hide is -2.
Hiding is not relevant at the moment.
All right. It's just being beautiful actually gives me a penalty
I
for
know.
hiding. Guys.
Give me a move silently check.
well, sparkles don't help.
They're pretty.
Mr. Sparkle.
Oh wow.
Oh!
Nice.
Yes.
All right,
What was that on the bluff check?
Eric.
Yes.
What is your bonus with listen?
That's a good question. Let me look it up.
Isn't that like 3 or 2?
Plus 4, actually.
+4. Okay. Ergo, odds are, unless you're actively trying to listen for them, you're not going to hear them. So, and you're not. So,
He's my official taste tester right now.
Give me another cooking check, Jaxie.
Okay.
All right, Eric.
Yeah.
Do you want to try? Do you want to be? Are you trying to resist being distracted by the cooking?
That's a really good question.
On the
I'm just
one
thinking
hand,
of the comedic
food. On the other
options of
hand,
going,
shipping.
Oh no, they went to the temple to invite the librarian to watch. I guess I don't know. They're weird.
Wow, Zarkov's a pervert.
You know, there's a lot of things people say about wrestling and the content thereof. I think it's rubbed off on Zarkov a little too bad. I think he's
No, I
hung
don't
around
think
big,
totally
sweaty,
resistant
grunting
to
men a bit too
So
much.
So you're not going to resist being distracted. Okay.
No, there's delicious food involved.
Then-
And more to the point, giving them their privacy.
Fair enough. So, ergo, since you only have +4, you do not notice them. Based on, I'm sort of borrowing the concept of the passive, checks from fourth ed, which I really like.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
like a 10.
It's much better than like a bunch of like rolls where by law of big numbers you will succeed at some point.
Right. All right. So you two sneak into the temple perfectly fine. All right. So you two are inside. You go down the hallway for a little while because there's a bit of a hallway. And then the librarian comes rushing up out of the water, sees you all, burbles at you a bit.
Hey. I kind of wave at him.
A tentacle comes up. Hang on, let me. There we go.
Yep.
Hello. That face.
That tentacle waves at you.
We brought one.
It makes a burbling noise.
Engrim is just going to levitate and carry Leonard over to the other side.
The librarian sort of ducks back down into the water. You hear the various gears clanking and such, and then the door opens. Actually, first off, you hear the gears clanking, water rushing sounds that happened last time, as the librarian changes the water levels within the library.
This is the part that I was concerned about here. This dude's gonna hear this shit.
I have no idea what you're talking about. It's not making loud echoing noises that are echoing back outside. By the way, guys, at the campfire, you hear large clanking noises and sounds of water rushing. It's pretty loud.
Seriously? He needs that much help? Don't they have pills for that?
At which point, Varkas wakes up. What on earth is that noise coming from inside the temple?
Leonard's going, shit, 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 shit.
Kinky
Engrim is
love
flying
making.
Leonard across.
Zarkov just points up and goes, kinky love making.
It sounds like water levels are... Oh. He looks over at you guys by the fire and says, very clever. Chuckles and goes running towards the temple.
Dude, give them their privacy!
God damn it, God, how loud this fucking thing was.
What
I
did I just
remember
miss?
this, but I was just like, I want to comment on this, but Engrim's roasting marshmallows. It wasn't included.
What has happened
It
here?
took much time to bring this detail up when it was like, come on, let's go.
What happened is this?
Well, what's happening is that, they're bringing the sword inside in order to get down to the levels where they can actually interact with the librarian and drop the sword off. The librarian has to change the water levels in the temple, which involves a lot of gears moving and water being pumped around, and that makes a lot of noise.
And Engrim remembered this part, but she wasn't privy to the plan, so she couldn't tell you two about it.
This was a good plan otherwise.
It was great!
There always has to be something that's terribly wrong with the plan, though, so...
It wouldn't be Slayers if it wasn't, let's be honest.
Okay.
I am
like,
actually going to chase after
so-
Vargas going, dude, come on, you shouldn't watch. I mean, you may want to, but you shouldn't.
Yes, you'll notice that as you go inside, the doors are open. The little walkway across the middle has been raised. And you two have gone downstairs. Vargas is sitting there staring inside and goes, "You cheeky bastards!"
Who's being cheeky? Also, why the hell did they need all this? I could have just come down and... Oh.
Last horse crosses the finish line.
So did know the librarian already. Well,
I was half expecting Zarko to say, I didn't realize Ingram liked tentacles.
Of course she likes tentacles. She's an anime girl.
She's a dolphin.
What do either of those have to do with anything? What?
No, actually, I think it would be. I think that the full response would be like, "Of course she does. She's a dolphin. They're up for all sorts of weird shit."
all right. Well, Varkas walks across the walkway.
As we make our way into the library, I bang my head against the wall a few times.
God, freaking.
Where are we supposed to put this thing anyway?
Eventually, you get down to the level where you were before, and the librarian sort of the translator orbs down there. The librarian says, "Ah, you've returned with the sword. Excellent."
Before we go further down, I'm going to. I assume there's like a front door that we had to go through to get down to this chamber in the first place.
Yeah, back up here, right there.
Yeah. I'm just gonna freeze it.
Maybe he didn't hear. Yeah.
So you're gonna basically put up an ice wall over it.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah.
I mean,
Go.
the doors won't actually be closed because part of the mechanisms they can't be closed while the level you're on is drained. There are reasons for that.
Okay, I thought I was thinking about like keeping the door closed by actually like freezing the areas between the mechanical parts.
No, the door has to be the door's the mechanism that keeps the door open. Unfortunately.
Screw it then. He can just blast through an ice wall. That's easy enough.
Yes, he can.
Yeah. Never mind.
He does know fireball.
Yep. I've seen him use it.
Uh-huh.
Now you're just wrecking people's property. I mean, I'm starting to think you're not such a good guy.
He doesn't have to. There's no ice wall there. The door's just open.
Yeah, I didn't do
Oh,
that.
okay.
I'm following behind Zarkov, just trying to think of something.
Yeah, he's looking around, going, "This place is fascinating. This place is amazing.
It is pretty cool.
Damp, but amazing." Yeah, but the librarian looks at this. So you found the Sword of the North. Excellent, excellent.
And yet it was in the south.
I did tell you that.
He did. I do remember that. I don't remember the freaking loud noises this place made.
How could you forget the what? Why does that matter? Oh, the wolf.
Yeah.
Was he still outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably heard that, didn't he?
Maybe
I
not.
don't think. No, I don't think he's outside. I think he's inside.
Well, yeah. If you want to put the sword, there's a box in that chamber over there it can be stored in safely.
Hmm. Explain this box, please. Like, out of character.
It's
Like, is it just like your typical storage bin, or does it look
no,
like
it's not.
something
It's a
with-
large metal box, which is honestly, looks like it's sort of sized to fit something akin to like either a. It looks like it's sort of sized for a big sword. It's not a. There are a few different sort of boxes and such in this room. This is up. It's up against sort of standing up against the wall. It's sort of like it's almost like a sword rack in a box up against the wall. And it looks like it looks like it's designed to hold a perfectly watertight seal once it's closed.
And it's not supposed to open again, is it?
No, it can be opened. It's just
Can the sword be reclaimed? Is my question.
of course.
Okay. If it looks like I can reclaim it, then I'll put it in there for the time being.
All right, the sword goes into the box. The tricky part about reclaiming it is if the librarian decides to just keep the floor flooded.
Right.
Yes, but I'm going to need his help for what I'm going to do anyway. So,
Fair enough. The sword's in the box.
All right.
At this point, as you guys come back out, you notice that Varkas has walked downstairs and looking around in sort of amazement at the room. Then you notice that Zarkov and Jaxie are sure standing behind him, a bit back there. I don't know if Zarkov is looking sheepish or not, but
More annoyed that they're not doing what I thought they were doing.
no, it's very clear that they were delivering the sword at this point.
Well, I figured that was going to have to happen eventually. So was the other thing. I was just hoping that...
you were hoping they would happen at the same time?
That would be very difficult, actually.
Listen, I don't judge. Whatever you
Doing
guys
that kind of thing
things
while
are,
walking
I'm
is-
fine with them.
Doing that kind of thing while walking is oof.
So, excuse me for a second. There we go. I put my water bottle just outside my arm's reach.
Oh, I hate that.
It's like right. Ah. So, Varkas looks around and says, "So this is the lost library, and that's the librarian." I'm guessing by the size of the eye. The translator orb flashes again. The librarian sort of says, "Welcome to the library.
Would you like to set up an account?
What brings you here?" Varkas then proceeds to explain exactly what his quest is.
And at this point, Jax is just sort of rubbing his head, and he looks to the librarian and he just mouths. He says, "We're sorry," mouthing to the librarian.
Librarian sort of says, "Well, that is a noble goal. Unfortunately, I cannot acquiesce to allowing you to gain access to the Book of Days. It is not something that should be in the hands of any mortal, for no matter how noble a purpose that there is." Varkas looks kind of depressed at the statement, but simultaneously seems sort of understanding to a certain degree. He says, "Well, do you mind if I stay and see if I can find some information on something that might be able to help my tribe?" And he looks over at one of the tablets on the wall and sort of says, "Huh, I've seen that staff before somewhere." On that, and he sort of points at a thing, and you all look at one of the things, and it's on a series of 3 large tablets with information, which are covered in runes and such. One of which has a picture. One of which has a very stylized representation of the Sword of the North. Now that you've actually seen the actual sword, you can see how this is sort of a stylized representation of it. The other 2 are an amulet, a very sort of stylized, very clearly an amulet of some sort, and the staff, which is again very stylized, but you swear you've seen it before also. Might have been the hands of a Blackford sorcerer.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, poop.
What? I'm just sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Captain Black Wolf has the staff,
Uh-huh.
and we just realized this.
Yes, the librarian sort of explains that those tablets represent the things that are needed to bring to get to be able to get to the Book of Days. They're all very powerful magical artifacts in their own right.
Well, that explains a few things.
Yeah, actually.
I'm gonna ask the librarian if a Black Wolf has ever been here.
Not that I'm aware of.
Just because you didn't necessarily have the information on where to find the thing doesn't mean you couldn't have come across it.
Well, stands to reason to ask here while we're here.
Yep. Much like the Sword of the North is a very powerful tool for enhancing and using
Sorcery.
sorcery. The staff is designed to amplify white magic.
So that is something that is... That explains how he's able to do that time stop bullshit.
The
So then the
amulet
necklace
is
is
the amulet is designed to amplify shamanism. Yes.
So it's useless.
I wouldn't say that.
In front of the shaman.
I wouldn't say that. Period.
I'm saying that from Engram's perspective.
Oh, Engram
one
from
who
Engram.
can't use shamanism that well.
Right. It's useless to Engram, sure.
Yes.
That is definitively true. Farkas sort of nods and sort of says, well. Wait, didn't she used to have a sword on her? Oh.
Oh,
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm not.
I'm not either.
I really don't blame you all.
Engram eats a marshmallow.
Were you
So-
holding on to that this whole time?
He has multiple of them.
Marshmallows are tasty.
So, why exactly, he sort of says, are you all recovering these, or at least why did you recover the sword? Are you looking for the Book of Days, or what's going on? I'm very confused.
Actually, no, so am I.
What? If Jackson just sort of blinks a few times, like, we looking for the Book of Days? Why would we be looking for it when we're trying to prevent it to be in anyone's possession?
Oh, yeah.
By recovering all the things that would actually enable one to find it.
And then making sure no one can get their hands on it.
Aha. Except the librarian.
I gotta look over at the librarian.
I have no intention of using the Book of Days. Primarily because I've got access to most of the information that's already contained in the Book of Days here in the library already.
Well, there is that.
Not all of it, obviously, but
Well, if we're being completely honest, there was also a second motivating factor within our group.
there is.
Got a nudge, Ingram.
Engram just kind of stares at Leonard.
Well, you don't want to say anything. You don't want to say anything. Fine.
Is this so she can not be part dolphin anymore? I thought she liked that.
I'm okay with being part dragon. If I wasn't, I couldn't do this, and I'll just make an ice cube with my breath.
Personally, I don't really care about finding this Book of Days myself.
I'm just going to hand the ice cube to Vargas, just because she can.
He takes the ice cube for a second, realizes he's been handed the ice cube for no really apparent reason, shrugs, and sort of chucks it over his shoulder.
I'll catch it in my drink, which I have just produced from the Aether.
All right. All right. Well, but yeah, I think I've seen that staff before. That sorcerer who was sort of leading the group of that sort of sorcerer's cult that's been attacking my
Oh, you know him too.
Well, I've run into him. He's a nasty sort and very, very powerful. And he had staff that looked somewhat like that.
He is very
So we have
powerful.
even more reason to punch him next time we see him.
He is very powerful, but he's not powerful enough to fight 5 sea dragons at the same time.
Oh, very few people are.
Actually, for all we know, he was, but it just took him a little while.
Not on the ship.
Especially not when the ship is also on fire.
Yes.
Also, my arrows hurt him, so it can't be that terrible. I hurt him a little bit. Shut up.
1 damage.
Actually, if I want to play devil's advocate, I think that the guy makes a good point. Why do we need to gather all 3 of the items? As long as one of them is safely secure inside here, nobody can use all 3 of them.
True, the librarian says. But there's also the fact that these are...
Do you really want... Engram's just going to look Leonard straight in the face. Do you really want that wolf guy who's trying to kill us to keep having that artifact and then get the other artifact and then
We
find
don't
his
have the
way
sword
to-
anymore. Why would you keep on chasing us?
Well,
Because we know where it is.
yes.
And then he's going to find the amulet, which means he'll be able to blow us all up easier. And then he
Okay.
can get the sword.
All right.
And you know that mind control thing I do occasionally? That's what he's good at. That's
Okay.
sorcery.
So maybe we kill this guy and also get the staff. But, I mean, I'm just saying, maybe we shouldn't get all 3 just, to avoid temptation and stuff.
Yeah, he says, looking at Ingram pointedly. Lies.
What?
All right,
Well, let's be honest about this. I don't know how to use them. Zarkov wouldn't use them even if he did know how to use them. And Jaxie, I don't
What?
think Jaxie would use them either. But you might.
Look. All I can say
I'm not
is
judging. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that sword probably could cut through a flank pretty well, but for precision slicing, it's just not as good as my cleaver.
And what is it with these super powerful magic items and they only work with magic users?
no, it's actually it's actually a remarkably good sword, just in and of itself.
Yeah, if I actually had a level in fighter, I would actually use it.
Honestly, either you or Zarkov. Oh, actually, not you. You don't have the strength to use it, but Zarkov can use the sword quite effectively. It's just that he's, prefers punching people.
I've got 12 strength.
I was talking about.
As an actual weapon.
I was talking about actually specifically about Nick's character.
Oh, okay. To be fair, he has a higher base attack.
Yes, but he is so much better with the spike chain because it is a finesse weapon. He can use his dex bonus for hit rolls.
Yeah.
Also true. I just find it hilarious that the one most capable of using the sword is the wizard here. Because there's a punchy dude and then a finesse guy.
Okay, then. Well, we've dropped the sword off, so...
So, yes. Varkas also says, so, aside from the hateful bastard sorcerers after this, is there anybody else after all this crap?
Probably.
Yes.
There's the White Wolf.
Definitely.
That Mazuku.
They tried to kill
Yeah.
us.
Yes.
What did you say, Matsuko?
Mazuku, that we had to
Yeah.
fight off in order to get the sword.
I think I've still got some white hair as a result of that.
She wasn't all bad.
You-
She gave
I
me
mean-
my money back.
I mean, you can at least understand why we were being as secretive as we are about all of this.
Yes.
Yeah, the last person we trusted with anything tried to kill us and take the sword.
Exactly. The last person we trusted turned out to be a Mazuku.
And then we got saved by a camel, which
Yes,
just
which
was weird.
proves
The camel left outside.
Yes.
proves that camels are potentially more powerful than Mazuku. We need to be utilizing their powers for society.
There's a reason we keep them around. I mean, who would want to keep a surly camel around them when they're going through forests and shit? Because he saved our lives once, so we put up with that. We're kind of idiots like that.
Okay, so there's... Oh, wait. So there's another Wolfman after this thing. You said.
Yes.
And he
Oh
was-
yeah,
One that
so
has
wait
of
for
a more
bastard
priestly
that sicked all those bounty hunters after us because he's a jerk.
yeah,
He's of
there's
a more
that goat-
priestly
there's the-
disposition.
There's the
Yes.
goat sorcerer guy. There's the
Yep.
Mazaku. There's the guy with the stick. So 3 different groups at least.
No, 4. Braden separated from Mr. White.
And what about that other wolf guy? The one that, the one with like the church thing. Was that a second?
That
No,
is the white one.
That was the first one. Okay.
That is the White-furred wolf.
So four groups of varying degrees of evil and cheapness.
And yes, and again, this is you have to. And when we first came across the means of getting here, well, we dealt with the goat, and we thought he was bad enough, but no. Then it just escalated from there. Almost like the next thing we're gonna fight is like 2 Mazaku at the same time.
We did fight 2 Moscow at the same time.
We fought 4 at
3
the same
Moscow
time.
At the same time.
This is just getting more ridiculous.
And I took out 3 of them at once. Of course, my hair went white after that, but
Well, I mean, by Mazaku, I'm referring more to like the higher ranked ones.
Oh.
Yes.
yeah, the noble Mazaku.
Yes.
Yeah, that was only
Those
a
are-
master Mazaku. That was only a master Mazaku.
Well. Yes.
I'm not going to throw a noble at you guys because that's just game over.
That's just mean.
Yeah,
Realistically, you you guys can't really beat a master Mazaku in a fair fight.
Honestly, if Beastmaster showed up, the correct course of action would be, Jaxie, make this lady a fantastic dinner right this damn instant. We are going to be courteous hosts. We are in the presence of Mazaku royalty over here.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing that because I'm not, as I said, not that much of a jerk. And Hesperia will get used very, very, very lightly. All right. At any rate, so the librarian says, "Well, I guess your options, as I see it, if you're willing to keep helping me trying to make sure that the Book of Days isn't found and recreated and such, at least depriving whoever that Blackford Wolf is of the staff would be good. Either that or tracking down the amulet. I don't know. I've got no particular suggestions here other than to ask what is your next course of action as a group?
Actually, to be fair, if that staff is being wielded by someone that's effectively the main threat to you and your tribe of shamans, then essentially neutralizing him would kill 2 birds with 1 stone effectively.
Yeah. What I've been saying all along. Punch him till he stops moving.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
The problem is there's 3 more birds waiting in roost.
Well, yes.
Honestly, the best course of action in order to make sure that we don't get trapped or captured or anything might actually be just to stay here. But if you guys are concerned about the guy with the staff, then yeah, I guess we gotta go after him.
I think our best bet would actually be, honestly, and I know you 2 are going to give me stares, she says, looking at Jaxie and Zarkov.
Already staring.
Would actually to keep the sword with us, so that if he does show up again, we have a trump card.
No.
Yeah, that sounds dumb.
I really just...
Also self-serving.
What?
I can't justify it being out in the open. I mean, we basically took it from one place where it was at least secured to another secured location that, well... what does that sound? It sounds like someone's hitting their head on the table.
Sorry, my desk creaked.
It's like, hey, we took it from one semi-secure location that was known to a location that is at least unknown to the enemies that are seeking to possess it. By carrying it on our persons, we make it an easy target to acquire because they don't even need to kill us; they just need to take it.
And on the other hand, if we have it, we could ward them away more easily. Had I not used the sword as I did, then the Mazaku would have taken it.
That's irrespective of the point. I don't. My whole point is I don't trust these items with anyone, not even myself. And in order to make sure that they can't be used for horrible things, they have to be secured away.
Well, we're at a disadvantage here, certainly. You can't
Well,
ignore that fact.
So,
Ingram's going to turn to the librarian and is going to approach.
Librarian sort
I
of
do
says
have-
they're floating.
Right. I do have a question for you. I was wondering if you could assist me with something.
I might be able to.
And Ingram is going to reach into her inventory and is going to withdraw the crown.
Okay.
This crown is possessed by a Mazaku, but I wish to try and remove the Mazaku's influence over it while retaining its power. Something of a trump card. Can you help me with this?
So, what exactly is it that you? Sorry, run that by me again. Word, I'm sorry, it's a little bit.
Okay, so the way you explain that the crown works is that it's entirely through a Mazaku channeling its efforts through the crown into the user while also doing the ear whispering thing, as Eric likes to describe it.
That's sort of how it works. That was the impression you got from analyzing it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's how I remember it.
That may or may not be actually how it works, but that's how you remember. That's what you thought. How you thought it worked.
In any case, what I would like to try and do is try and maintain the power channeling, but silence the influence aspect of it.
So you're showing him the crown, asking him about it.
Yes.
Ah. Well, what you've got there is a Mazagu trapped in a crown.
Yes, I had come to that conclusion.
And you want to use its power without it to be able to try to take you over.
That's the short of it, yes.
Well, there are plenty of different postulated potential rituals that would allow one to try doing something along those lines. All of which have been done with varying degrees of success. None of them complete. Sorry, none of them total success, I should say. You're welcome to take a look through the various research on them if you'd like.
I think I will do that. Thank you. And
If needed,
go do that.
if needed, Jaxie will actually help research in the efforts to effectively disenchant the curse on this crown. So,
Actually, I'm going to look at Jesse. Oh, so now you're okay with me keeping the crown now?
I wasn't okay with you keeping the crown because you initially put it on without even bothering to make sure that there was anything wrong with it. If you're actually actively trying to get rid of what's wrong with it, that's a different story. Not that complicated. I hit my hand on something.
Easy there.
And then, Jaxie will apply what sort of thing would be effective here as a skill. No research skill.
Lore master, I guess.
Oh, isn't there a research skill?
I don't know if there is one. No, there is no research skill.
Knowledge Arcana.
Oh no, I believe you use search for that if I remember correctly.
Search. Ah, damn, that's actually a skill I'm good at. Yes, plus 18.
Yeah, my search is 14.
Oh, geez, that's a 23. And that's, I'm trying to debate whether I should, okay. Question is, yeah, my bonuses are all skewed for this, character token here, but, all right.
Hey, 29 search.
I'm thinking about hero pointing that just to see if we can get a even stronger result for this.
If you're just assisting, that breaks 30.
Well, I have the stronger search skill between the two of us. I guess my stance was with my check alone. Does that get me anything, Peter, or should I try to re-roll that?
You're able to find some stuff.
I'm just going to say that even if you rolled max, then that means that we wouldn't be seeing more than 36, assuming that if we don't count mine as an assist. And
No, it'd be 38. It'd be 38.
If we counted that as an assist, then yeah, and that's not that much higher, and the odds are not in your favor. I think it'd be better to just hang on to the hero point.
Well, again, there is plenty of stuff on various things revolving. All right, so you are actually able to find more information about the crown in particular. Between the two of you. Which does confirm the whole, this is... The big thing is, the crown is not, strictly speaking, cursed.
If it was, it wouldn't have come off of my head.
Right. The big thing is, you have to remember about it is, it's not so much a cursed crown as it is a Mazuku stuck in crown form.
Okay.
So, there isn't really a way to... there isn't really a way to, stop the crown from doing what it does per se. Like, as if it was like a curse thing by removing the curse. You basically have to find a way to control the Mazuku in the crown to make it not try to take over the body of whoever's wearing it. So you basically have to control the Mazuku.
That's kind of what I was thinking, because I'm thinking in terms of season 1 of Slayers, where Rezo did that thing with the one chicken demon.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of thinking something like that.
It's you have to do something along those lines, and it's possible to actually make deals with Mazuku. And so, yeah, you could easily try to find a way to make a deal with the Mazuku.
Yeah, but that has complications, and I don't think Zarkov would take too well to that.
Not so big on the whole Faustian bargain thing, so...
That is but that is technically an option. You could make a deal with the Mazuku. You could blackmail the Mazuku in some way if you could find a way. There are lots of different things you could do. You could try to come up with a ritual that would allow you to control the Mazuku. The thing that you have found is that it takes someone who is, in terms of being able to cast a spell to directly control a Mazuku against its will, take someone who is extremely skilled and powerful. And even then, it's rarely the control is rarely total and complete. And said Mazuku will usually try to find a way around it.
Leonard uses a book as a pillow.
I don't think there were books in there so much as metal slabs with writing on them.
Oh,
Pretty much, yeah.
well, yeah, because books would...
Yeah, normal books would not work too well in this library, let's just put it that way.
Leonard slips in the corner and... It is nighttime, after all. So.
It is. Varkas is looking around at various tablets and such, and
it's like it might be easier just to make a replica and then chance it with something that's useful.
I know nothing about the crafting of magical item. I know more about cursing than I know about magic item creation.
Well, as soon as we come up with a way to blackmail a Mazuku into being effectively a good person, then we might be.
Engrim looks at the crown
is that a
and
thing we can
grins. When Jaxie says that, Ingram looks at the crown and grins maliciously.
Does that even work?
What are you thinking of?
Oh, Zarkov.
We're not putting that crown on my head.
Oh, we don't need to.
Am I going to punch the crown? Because I did that before and it didn't do anything.
No. I would just like you to recite your usual regiment about justice, if you'd be so kind.
All right, I'll
And
recite
she's
my-
going to hold the crown right in front of him.
Okay.
Effectively, Mecha, what I'm going to do is remember...
I
remember
know,
what
I
was-
know roughly what you're
Yeah.
trying to do, yes.
Yes. Yeah, I just want this thing to be going, make it stop! No more justice.
Why?
Give me a second. This I have to look something up, because I think they actually did come up with something for that in the rules. I just forget how it worked.
Oh dear.
It would be convenient if the crown had ears.
Yeah, well. Okay, Eric.
Yes. Should I roll perform villainous monologue?
Among other things, you'll have to make that roll, yes, but give me a second.
All right.
I'll look something up. Effectively, if I remember correctly, what they actually were doing there, let's go double check something. Just trying to find the actual rules for this. But all right, that is. Let's go look up one thing with one character in here. I'm just trying to see if I remember correctly how they handled this. Nope, wrong direction. Sorry for the slight delay on this, but
Well, this is something that you weren't really.
no, I wasn't expecting this. So,
I've mentioned that I wanted to do this kind of thing before, just not this particular way.
no, this is
This is a very unusual blackmailing tactic.
Effectively, what they were doing is they were basically doing taunt for damage on Zelos.
Oh, geez. I want someone to taunt for damage.
But it's a very specific sort of thing. It's not really a taunt, though. It's basically,
Right.
singing happy thoughts at him.
And the happiest thoughts I know around here are Zarkov's.
Yeah, let me just do a roll. Let me just
It's not
arbitrary roll.
strictly speaking taunt, because Amelia doesn't have that, but
I know. I'm just trying to mess around with how much taunt for damage rolls would be. That's 37. Is that even the max? Is that even my bonus actually is? No, that's not. Actually, it's a 40.
all right, Eric,
Yo.
Oh, it's a,
what I'm going to want from you, and I have no idea if I have not decided yet if this is going to do anything, even.
Okay.
I want you to give me two things. I want you to give me a diplomacy roll and a perform villainous monologue roll.
Diplomacy.
Okay, question. Can I assist this from the standpoint of having practiced coaching him during his wrestling time on the diplomacy roll?
Sure.
Doesn't
My
matter.
diplomacy of 3.
Well, crap.
I'm really confused about what's going on, so my heart's really not in it, obviously.
Now,
Yeah.
well, you got +2, so you got diplomacy of 5.
Yeah.
The problem is that you're having Zarkov do a sort of effectively delivering a promo to a crown. To an inanimate object.
I would put it on his head so he would actually have an audience that he could recognize, but he and Jaxie would not take kindly to that. And I don't feel like getting hit in the face.
Yeah, there would be a lot of punching involved with that.
I'm too pretty for that kind of thing.
All right. Well, So yes, there is a yes. So yeah, the Mazuku. The problem is, even if he is succeeding,
You don't know how.
you have
So.
it's a crown.
I'm gonna taunt it by making some really delicious food in front of it.
That won't do a whole lot for Mazuku. So go ahead.
I know. I'm being
I know.
facetious.
I know you are.
I wouldn't actually roll that because I already wasted a 19 and an 18 on 2 other rolls. Damn it!
All right. Well, after much confusion, you have threatened the crown with words of
Wrestling
justice.
promos.
With words of justice, yes. What are you doing now, Word?
I think I can visibly tell that that was not a good performance.
Oh, probably yes.
Jaxie's like in the corner griefing over how badly that went.
That was terrible. What exactly do you want me to do again?
We tried to make.
If I might, not forbid input on this thing. I think that you're gonna need some sort of
Howling
shut
dog.
up, Cog. I think you're gonna need some sort of actual back and forth conversation with the thing instead of just talking at it.
Yes, and I don't know there's a way to talk to it outside of wearing the crown, and then you're kind of already under its influence, unless you
But
have.
I can wear it.
There is a will save involved. I just blew it last time.
I wonder who's the strongest will save out of all of us.
Me.
What was your will save?
10.
Okay.
I just rolled ass last time.
Yeah.
What did the crown even do last time? I forget. It was a long time ago. I know that it was yeah.
I was raising skeletons.
It gives you access to a whole bunch of cool abilities, like necromantic abilities, and slowly takes you over, and basically eventually will swap places with you, and it'll basically take the Mazuku's being and swap it with you, basically. Eventually.
Right. But then you become the crown, and of Mazuku, and
Well, assuming that the body survives long enough to complete the switch, yes. Otherwise, the Mazuku goes back into the crown.
There we go. Now I got my actual updated token here. I'm like, I don't want to fix all my rolls and add in skills that are missing.
Why do you want to be able to raise the dead anyway?
There's more to it than just that.
Long story short, I think what it is that Engram wants access to more power in case you guys have to go toe to toe with the Wolf Sorcerer.
Or any of the other badasses, yes.
Right. Jaxie's stance
because it's clear to her that her own abilities are fine for general riffraff, but when we're faced with a serious threat, then nothing she has is helping. The only reason that we've gotten through the last 2 encounters was because of insane ideas that managed to go well. Eventually, one of those is not going to go well, and that's going to be bad.
Right.
Wait a minute. I thought we won because of the power of friendship.
No. No.
Why don't you say that to the crown again?
In character laugh.
Yeah, I kind of
Okay.
figured.
That actually gets me. Okay, trying to think. I'm trying to think of a way that I could have tried to apply something like that. But the problem is that I need an angle, and I don't have one yet. Outside of like talking about food really enthusiastically or otherwise, or talking about how happy things were back at home, and all those little things.
Okay, Engram is going to look at Zarkov and Jackson and is going to say, all right, I need to speak with this thing directly, and I don't think this is quite working out. I'm going to put the crown on. If
No.
things get out of hand, move
No,
it.
no, not
Yeah.
you. You're not wearing it.
Nope.
I'll wear it.
Nope.
I've got no magic power.
I don't see how that matters.
Tie me up.
Right. Basically, if he's tied up and restrained and has no means of escaping, then he can't do anything.
I make sure it's really good because I'm good at escaping stuff too.
Meanwhile, I'm not good at escaping, and it gives the person power. It doesn't... Yeah.
We don't know how much more effective it is because you already have powers, though.
Why are we even talking about this? Why do we want to talk to it? Why don't we just throw it in a box or something? Or
Because we need to have some way of actually reasoning with it.
That's the only way. That's the only way.
so why do we want to reason with it? It's kind of an entity made out of lies. Like literally, that's what they do. That's what they're made out of.
It's also a tool.
It can be potentially a tool, but the point is being able to actually utilize it is the tricky part.
Which is why we can test this out in a controlled environment while we can still minimize the damage it would cause.
Yes, that's exactly the plan. And if you two would stop resisting it...
Well,
then
it's a
we could get
terrible
going.
plan.
What's terrible about it?
You're relying on a monster whose entire shtick is taking over your brain and making you do terrible things, to do terrible things in the direction you want, when it's probably just going to mess with you anyway, and oh yeah, it eats brains!
I'm willing to accept that if it means that you're safe.
Don't need to worry about me being safe, it's whoever's
I
wearing the
don't
stupid
mean
hat
just
that's going to
you.
be safe.
Not just you.
And Zarkov, need I remind you, you kind of weren't able to be safe or keep us safe on your own the last time we had to deal with something. That was a major threat.
What, the boat?
No,
No.
when we got the sword. When you almost died and I told you never to do that again. That moment?
The only way that we're
That
gonna
moment
make
that you're still healing from, that you're still feeling wounds from.
No, I'm
if we
not.
come up against demons at that level of power again, we're going to need something crazy like this in order to fight them.
It's
So
either
your
this
answer is
or you...
more demons.
It's either this or you let me bring the sword, which seems to be the less preferred option.
Of course it's a less preferred option, because if said demon does beat us, then they get the sword, which is what we're trying to stop in the first place.
They'd get the sword anyway eventually. It would just be somewhat quicker.
But they can't... this is so dumb.
I've got another idea.
What's that?
Well, we've got a bunch of information down here. We can try and find some other artifact that won't try to kill us, but also isn't something that everyone's looking for.
Hmm.
You see? That's a better plan.
Oh, jeez.
The thing is, we're trying to. Time is also key. We've got access to certain things that can help us out now.
Indeed.
We don't know when we're going to be targeted again. If this guy, this sorcerer, can literally track our progress across an ocean, well, a sea, I guess, then who's to say he doesn't know where we are right now? Who's to say that he won't attack us as soon as we leave this cave? Cavern, whatever.
More of
Give-
an ancient architecture.
if we're gonna go up against these guys with no super special weapon on our side, then fine, so be it. But if we have the option of having one on our side, that would be preferable.
I guess this leads me to think of an idea. Okay, I'm trying to wonder if there are any legends that I would know offhand from a lore master thing or things I could research on weapons that were fabled to be used against the items in question on the tablets. That would be kind of the way I'm thinking about it. I'll lead off with a lore master, see if that does anything. Only a 20.
I can get along with this line of thought, so I will try that as well. 22.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm
So what exactly are you looking for?
I'm trying to determine. So we have these items that are powerful and are used to gain the Book of Days, effectively.
Yes.
My thought process is that for some set of weapons, there would be essentially opposing or at least parallels to them that either were made as weapons to be used against those said weapons or otherwise, unless the weapons in question are the ones that we've been looking for anyway.
Okay.
Essentially, basically trying to determine of other possible weapons of known value or worth that would be worth investigating and or recovering.
All right. So, with the 20 to 22,
Yeah, I'm willing to do a reroll.
given that you have access to the library on top of everything else,
can I bolster that with a search just to kind of?
absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, I'll do that as well.
Wow, I've been running less than 10 for a handful of these.
30 search!
The only two I got that were good were rolls that weren't applied to anything.
That happens sometimes. All right. Well, between the two of you doing this, you do find that there's references to a bunch of very powerful artifacts out in the wide world that may or may not be of use in the situation. They're honestly the first and the most obvious thing that you find reference to is an incredibly powerful sword, magical sword, but the Sword of Light.
Yeah, that's
the first one you find. I have to mention that. It just
yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
But no one has that. That's just a myth.
Last it was heard, it was in the hands of this family of mercenaries, but no one knows if it's still there.
Of course, it's in the hands of mercenaries.
To be fair, I think everyone in character knows who the hell Lena Inverse is.
Yes.
You mean the enemy of all life?
I know who she is.
Yes, you do. Because she's got a fairly sizable bounty. She at one point had a very sizable bounty on her head.
Oh, look, of course, on the joke thing, I rolled 33.
Oh, actually, you're fairly certain that it's currently the Sword of Light is currently in the hands of Gary Gabriev, who's traveling with Lena Inverse.
Yes. All we need to do is track down Gowry and convince him to loan us the sword for, a few years. I'm sure he'll be up for that.
Right. Next plan. Resume search.
Well, we might not necessarily need something to use purely against these artifacts. It
Right,
would be
but-
helpful to have something that could be used against Mazuku.
Yes. Well,
Right.
that's why the Sword of Light is so perfect. It does all of that.
Yeah, let's.
The Sword of Light literally is the correct answer to this. It's just not a helpful one.
Yeah, because we're kind of not getting that.
No, you're not.
Because fuck you!
Well, just because, I'm just sitting here going, wow, what they really need is the Sword of Light.
Nope!
Yeah, there's kind of a gigantic problem if somehow we manage to obtain it through some insane buffoonery. If that happens, then that means the world ends.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
The world's doomed.
Yeah.
Then let's see. Well, we would need something to fight against the Mazuku, and also, I guess, it would be really useful
I
against
guess-
a sorcerer. So,
Yeah, honestly,
Something that amplifies white magic would be a good idea.
yes.
I want a better chain.
I want a better knife.
Dear
to make
Santa!
sashimi with.
All right. Well, in terms
For
of
going
Christmas,
north.
we want.
oh god, I'm trying to think of.
We have been cross out. We, except for Ingram, cross out. Jaxie and Zarkov have been very good boys this year.
And then beneath that, you see scroll down. I haven't done anything wrong.
Oh god. I really wish that I was like okay, so like I can think of actually a bunch of actually very like handy artifacts that might be useful. The problem is a bunch of them are actually swords, which just doesn't help with this right now.
Hey, can I have some Vorpal armored gauntlets?
Yes. See,
Vorpal?
well, they're bladed.
Yeah, it's like you have Wolverine claws on them.
Yeah, exactly. See.
Yeah, and he's
Oh,
got a
that's
healing
stupid. I don't want
factor.
that kind of
already.
Vorpal.
Who'd have thought?
Dude, Vorpal implies an edge.
It does. You're correct.
You can't just have them work as cestus. You have to see a blade running across your knuckles.
Just think of the wrist razors that Batman has, and then just make them bigger.
Wow, that was yeah. I'm just sort of all right. So I will say this: definitively, there will be some artifacts that could be found that might be of use. I'll have to spend some time thinking about exactly what they are. Is the thing. Like there are a few like sort of stock answers I can give from the Slayer's verse, but they're
Blade
either
also comes to mind.
what?
But again, sword.
Yeah, well, part of
anything,
this,
anything that we would actually like set our sights on to go after, you're going to need to figure out. I guess.
right, because like several of them are swords. Like the Blessed Blade would be great, but sword. Actually, if it wasn't for that Eric is devoted to punching, because he's a warrior of justice.
It's gonna be a lot easier.
Because the
Blessed
Blessed
Blade
Blade is basically a holy avenger. It's actually kind of awesome.
Yeah, the Blessed Blade is amazing.
I guess it could
It's
be
like
that
the
thing
only
that I
sword
bust
better
out
than the
with
Blessed
when
Blade
I'm
is the
not-
Sword of Light.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, and it's not currently being used by anybody. It's just under Cyrag.
Under the Watch of Silfiel, which would be a great cameo.
Well, given the current time frame, that may or may not be the best thing.
Oh, right. What with Fabrizzo and all.
Uh-huh. I'm sorry, that's not the... Yes, the Blessed Blade is...
yeah.
Damn, I forgot how good this thing is in Slayer's D20. It is a +6 Holy Ghost Touch Longsword.
Jeez.
In addition, the Blessed Blade is capable of fully healing anyone touching it.
Oh.
It is also a Bane weapon against Xanathar.
Okay then.
The Blessed Blade may have other powers or abilities, but if so, they are currently unknown.
I would just like to say once more, fuck you, Slayers are for not including the freaking Blessed Blade and just giving that to. I hate you.
Let's see here.
Revolution Evolution did have that as a problem. Yes, there was a
okay.
the Slayers had established an answer for the Xanathar problem, which everyone conveniently forgot.
I guess
Including
another.
Silfiel, the person who has the thing.
I have no idea what you're talking
I guess
about.
another direction that Jackson could look into for that would something that he could potentially wield would be daggers as items of power or implements or otherwise.
Yep, I could definitely think of. There'll be some things I could think about. I just have
Right.
to actually,
I'd like to have that white magic staff that Mr. Black Magic has, but that's going to be a problem.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, we could just punch
Well,
him and take it.
Well, yeah, it's a
He's
problem.
not
but
using
when-
it for righteous means, so we should just,
That's a problem we at least have a solution for. It's a difficult solution, but
That's something we can have as a down the road goal.
Yes. Yeah. I'm just looking at the things that are actually in the book, and there aren't a lot of things that are actually particularly applicable. I'll have to work something up for them. Is the long story short.
okay.
Like the Philosopher's Stone would be great, but it's kind of broken at the moment. Also, I'm not sure I want to give you something that is that absurd.
the other stuff we got. Okay. So I guess the only goal that we can actually set our sights on Unless we want to just like walk into a church and be like, "Fuck you, getting rid of you for no reason because you've done nothing actually to upset us since we last crossed paths." The only other solution is to go after the sorcerer at this point, unless we're just gonna like tread water for a while.
Basically, there are definitely a couple. There are definitely one or two. I could definitely say there are one or two items that exist that'll be useful. But I as the game master, will need to take time to work up exactly what they are.
Okay.
Right.
So we can assume that yes, you find information on stuff like that, and you'll be able to start acting on it. But I will need time to actually work out the details on it, or exactly what they are.
Cool.
Alright.
So it's the magic item of insert thing. Exactly.
Just put an audio sensory in there.
It's one of those. Yeah, honestly, this is something that I should have thought of because it is sort of I could understand the desire for something like that, and it'd be useful. Yes. So
We're searching for the magic beep of beep beep beep.
yes.
Be as filthy as you like.
And I can't guarantee that they will be items that will be particularly perfect for you guys to use, given your skill sets.
You
Or
know,
weird skill sets.
Yeah.
at least I use staves. Those are magically usual. Those are usually magical.
Okay. Well, I guess that I guess that once we're done here, we'll just be like, okay.
So the question is, do you want to go after one of these artifacts, or do you want to see if you can try to track down and confront the sorcerer?
We
We
need
don't know
more
where
stuff.
he is.
Yeah, we don't know where he is, and he's gonna wipe the floor with us. We need
Wait
more
a minute,
stuff.
don't we have a bounty hunter for exactly this reason?
What do you mean?
Tracking down bad guys, then making them not be bad anymore?
He stops time.
He's never stopped us before.
I don't know where he is currently. I tend to operate on a much more local level. You know, I show up in town and be like, "Hey, who are you looking for?" And they're like, "This guy." And then I go off in the woods or something and get them. I can't just randomly go to a spot on the globe and capture somebody. Is that how you thought I worked?
Yes.
Ingram puts the crown back in her inventory.
Maybe I should have just let you go on thinking that.
You're considerably less awesome now in my eyes. I'm sorry. I kind of thought you did that.
Well, you also assume a lot of things about me, so don't worry about it.
And me.
And us.
Now I think about it, Zarkov, you're kind of a jerk.
No.
Hey, don't say that about Zarkov.
And again, I
Oh,
guess
sad.
you are a wrestler. You do deal entirely in stereotypes.
Oh. Ouch.
Darkov's sad.
Let's go to bed.
All right. Well, it is you sleep. It is morning.
Darkov's
Are you-
still sad.
Are you sleeping inside or outside?
Is it a comfortable atmosphere, given I have been trying to sleep there?
Not particularly.
Let's go
The
outside.
air is kind of damp,
Yeah.
almost like the place has been flooded.
It's cold, it's damp, it's wet. It's perfect for Engram, not for everyone else.
Plug in a dehumidifier.
You're gonna make the tablets rust.
They're bronze.
Kind of hard.
no
They're bronze. They
Oh,
might
they
get a
are?
patina.
I'm sorry, I thought they were iron.
No.
Wouldn't last.
There explicitly shows us they made of materials that won't.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, it is. You wake up in the morning.
I will say Engram is going to sleep inside because it's more her kind of atmosphere.
Well, the librarian would recommend you sleep outside so that he can actually, properly reflood the library
Oh, fine.
and not leave the doors to the library wide open all night. Unless you can sleep underwater.
Unfortunately, that is not part of my skill set as
Nope.
a dragon.
All right, well, you wake up in the morning. Varkas is still sort of perplexed about this whole situation. He's trying to decide what he's going to do. He hasn't decided yet. Jaxie, you're in the process of getting things ready to start making breakfast and such.
Yes.
When I need a spot check from everybody.
Engram's a late sleeper.
Fair enough.
It's not terrible.
21's good.
I've got a 50% chance of matching that. Aha! I beat it.
And 19. Okay, you guys all rolled very well. So you do know you do notice that there is somebody out on the edge of the clearing, because you're basically, the library's sort of on the top of a bluff, as I mentioned, sort of with basically near a cliff down to the water, and there's sort of it's sort of a big clearing, and there's sort of trees that sort of circle it, and sitting up in one of the trees, you see what looks like a human woman sitting up in the trees, sort of leaning back and observing you all.
Do we recognize the human-looking
Yes, you
female?
do.
Is it the human-looking female that we think it is?
Very likely, because it's not actually human. As I said, human looking.
Yeah.
She just sits there.
I'm going to attempt to hide.
So you're here to call me a jerk too?
What? No.
Well, all right then.
What? So this is where we're taking the sword.
Jeez.
Huh. So he's getting involved.
It's her, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's Hesperia.
So I guess you're gonna try to take the thing. We're gonna have to fight you. Can I have my breakfast first?
Sure. Also,
I wake up.
why would I want? If you've deposited the sword here at the library, why would I bother disturbing it, given what I stated my goals were?
Cause
Well, I guess that's predicated on how much you trust the librarian.
Last I checked, he's not mortal, so shrug.
I'm going to attempt to sneak my way to the trees at the edge of the perimeter of them.
Sure, give me a move silently check.
Poof!
Damn it! Now I have to actually look up what her spot check is. I don't think it's good enough to actually spot you.
It's a good thing Leonard has no strength, otherwise he'd make a magnificent slasher villain.
I need to have a far, far higher Constitution score for that.
Yeah. Jeebus. That's a pretty good spot check.
So
She has a chance. She
Yay!
fails.
Wow.
As I said,
Holy-
her spot check's actually, it's one of her lower skills.
yeah, she's a jerk.
I'm like, holy crap, I'm looking at the Master Matsuku skills. 20, 20, 22, 20, 20.
I'm
25.
hiding in the trees now.
Yes,
I don't know
spot
what I'm
it
going
is.
to do. I don't know what I'm going to do now that I'm here, but I'm hiding in the trees.
Listen, spot, and vision are the 3 skills that the Master Mazuku has listed that are below 20.
So I chose correctly.
Ah, that's why. Wisdom is their only stat that's lower than 18. Got it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, wisdom isn't their score.
It's like, oh, well, that'd be why. They're only Wisdom 12.
Only.
As opposed to 18 in every other stat except Charisma, which is 20. Because Mazuku are fair, somehow. Oh, wait, they're not. Never mind. Well, I admit this is not the place I would have personally chosen to take the sword, but I think it'll suffice for now, at least. Also, I freely admit I don't relish the concept of trying to deal with the librarian and get it taken away from him. So, yeah.
So what about the other items that are similar to the sword?
Well, honestly, I'd rather none of them were in mortal hands myself.
But you are aware that at least one of them is in.
Yes, and there are things in work to deal with that at the moment. But I was not.
So?
I personally was not tasked with recovering it. I was tasked with recovering the sword.
So why are you guys after it? After these things?
Because we don't want the Book of Days in mortal hands.
Why?
No, try to sense motive that, and you'll probably find
We
out
tried
that,
to sense motive it before.
Yes, and again, it still sounds like the truth.
Yep.
So it always sounds like the truth.
Right.
Because they're literally made of lies.
That's basically the statement. There's, for example, the out of character distinction. There's a difference between no mortal hands and no one's hands. That is being made here. So basically, her goal would be a subset of our goals, or at least Jaxie's goal. But
I say that's fairly accurate.
yes,
Although the reasoning, there are reasons for it that beyond what you know. But
Right.
She is definitively not going to tell you that.
oh yes.
Which ties into the reasons why she doesn't want what ties into the actual reasons musically.
Yes.
But yes,
But
we do not. Lord Beastmaster does not want the Book of Days to fall into mortal hands. Ergo, I do not want the Book of Days to fall into mortal hands.
Right.
And I will and I was tasked with recovering the Sword of the North. Now, the Sword of the North is currently in a place where it should suffice. I'll have to talk with Lord Beastmaster about that.
What about the staff that is being well wielded by the his name again?
Jerkface McBlackfur?
It's like a Jaxus or something like that.
Ardax.
Ardax. Yeah.
Right.
Knew it started with an A, had an X in there.
Adraxis is the guy in the Mutants Masterminds game.
Yes, actually. Ardax, yeah. But, yes. The Blackford Sorcerer. Again, I was not tasked with recovering that. Lord Beastmaster may task me with recovering it. I don't know yet.
Who is currently tasked in recovering that?
I'm not going to tell you. I don't know. I don't know if Lord Beastmaster has anyone assigned to it at the moment. As far as I know, Lord Beastmaster has not currently assigned anyone to recover that yet. Which is
Well, given what has happened so far, I think you're quite aware that if someone is tasked to that at some point, we might end up crossing paths with them.
very likely.
I've already woken you up. I said earlier that I woke you up specifically.
Now she's gone back to sleep.
She's just droning on at this point. It's like, fuck it, I'm not waking up for this.
I'm gonna wake you up again.
Engram is going to ice your hand and turn over.
Oh dear.
Oh man,
I'm
I
going
went
to
to school
continue
today.
trying-
Alright, you think I'm a jerk already? I pick you up and I throw you.
Ah!
Now you're awake, we're dealing with a giant monster, we kinda need you. You already
She's
think
not
I'm a jerk, I
giant.
don't see why I need to be nice to you.
Going to
Well, she's
ice
not
Zarkov.
giant.
I'm pouting.
Zarkov is pouting. Lovely.
I made the half troll cry.
Peter, here's a question.
Okay.
From my alternate position, can I see if she's alone?
She appears to be. Give me a both a spot and a search check.
Search check. Okay. 23 for spot,
Okay.
and I don't have search here as a skill. Not good at looking for stuff, apparently.
Yeah, search is an int skill.
13.
Yeah, spot was the primary thing there, but I figured I'd give you.
Yeah.
As far as you can tell, she is completely and utterly alone.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily mean she doesn't have her Gribblies hiding just on the other side of reality.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Eric. That would be wrong and cheating.
Which means we can trust her to be honorable and not do it.
Exactly.
I'm going to tempt fate. And I'm going to try to actually get closer to her.
Okay. Give me another move silently, hide in shadows. You need both.
I'm going to re-roll that one.
I can't imagine why. Oh, wait, you rolled a 1. That's why.
So that's a 30
Okay.
to re-roll. And 26.
All right. Well, her spot. Again, she'll have to roll well to beat your hide check there. But she doesn't. And now
What?
for her listen,
Come on.
which is equally good.
Come on. Yes!
All right,
I'm a
you're closer.
ninja!
You are sneaking up on the Eldritch Abomination. Well done.
What am I doing?
Clearly, you're playing wizardry.
You are closer now to the Eldritch Abomination that is taking the form of an attractive human woman.
This is a good plan.
Nothing can possibly go wrong.
My plan is just to do something stupid in case she actually attacks us. That's it. And I'm going to, like, clench my spiked chain in my new position, and that's it.
So you start looking out there, she says, huh.
Huh?
I thought there were more of you than just you two and the half-dragon. And, well, no, there's a wolf there, but that...
We had a fight.
Wasn't there that one with the mask and one of the goldback, the bounty hunter?
Yeah, we had a fight.
We did have a fight.
Don't care where he is. He's a jerk.
He is being honest.
She sort of cocks her head a little bit. You're not actually lying. And you are pouting and unhappy. Well, not really relevant, honestly.
So yeah, we're gonna do our thing, you're gonna do your thing, and you'll probably try to blow us up a couple times, 'cause it's usually how these things work.
So, I'm going to ask you something similar to what I asked you before. Apparently you've taken the sword, and you've taken it here, and you're planning on... Are you planning on recovering the other pieces to store them here so they will not be used?
I don't know, unless someone comes with a better idea. And
That's what he keeps saying. She says, pointing at Jaxie with her thumb.
Huh. Our interests are
some
so...
are already kind of being used, and for not good reasons, so...
This is
Is there a
perplexing.
Why is it perplexing?
Our interests are actually in line.
I was aware of this earlier. The difference is that the set of people that I wish to not have access to the Book of Days is greater than yours.
Yeah, yes, that's fine.
But I do agree that they're actually aligned, which is actually part of the reason why I asked if you knew who was going after.
Yes,
the one
and if
who
I
possesses
did
the
know,
safe.
I would actually tell you now.
Basically, I guess
I actually want to be helpful. Why do I?
That is
Ew.
so weird.
Jaxie just sort of shrugs a little bit and says, "You recognize that not all mortals are necessarily in a power grab situation in ways that
I'm. How does Zealous put up with that redheaded bitch? God damn it!
All right, okay. I'm just trying to determine whether diplomacy or taunting is more applicable here for kind of the rhetoric I'm trying to pull on her.
I find it kind of amusing that she has a blue-headed bitch to deal with instead.
So I'm trying to think, Peter. What would you recommend in this case?
I have no idea.
Essentially,
I think it depends somewhat on what you're trying to achieve.
basically, there's two minor goals. One is best effectively to prevent her from at least abstaining from having direct animosity towards us, or two is to actually get some sort of assistance for the temporary.
That's actually a really good question. I'm not sure which is better.
Yeah. Because I'm good at both, but I'm trying to sure which one matches the tactic a little bit better. The ringtone will tell me. Because Jaxie's sort of stance is like, so look, here's what we've determined so far. One, you actually seem to be okay with our intended goal with this, for the time being. Two, you recognize that the other items in our objective are in line with what your general goal happens to be. And three, you recognize that it's a lot easier to just possibly either not get in the way or, I don't know, help us, as opposed to putting up any sort of resistance. I mean, at the very least, it means less people working underneath you get unnecessarily slain off.
All right, give me a diplomacy check.
Please be good. I'm probably going to hero point that.
Okay, that's perfectly fine.
There we go.
Yes, it's a 36.
Yeah, that's only okay.
She's not. She sort of looks like she's like nodding. Help! Help! You want maybe help, but I
I mean, to be fair, you already have helped us. If it wasn't, we wouldn't have been able to get to the sword in the first place.
Well, you were paying me.
As if money is of any object to you.
She sort of just glares at you.
If it makes you feel any better, we won't trust you.
I'm back.
So
Makes me feel a little bit better.
So I mean, so far all you've done is demonstrate what the rest of this thing could be like. All you need to do is just not try to kill us to take away the items once we acquire them and move to have them stored away safely. Seems like an easy win for you. And heck, you can even take all the credit for it, because it's not like your superiors are going to believe that the mere mortals accomplished all this, right?
Well, hate to admit it, but
And you can just claim that you're using us as pawns for your little game, make you appear to be even more devious in the eyes of your superiors.
tell you what, I'm gonna go talk to Lord Beastmaster, and yeah. God, I hate mortals so much. She goes stalking off from tree to tree out into the forest.
She actually just gives a little salute as she leaves.
Hang on a second. I need to do one thing here.
After she leaves, Engrim is going to look at Zarkov. So it's
Nick,
okay when Jaxie consorts with Monzoku, but not me, huh?
Nick, give me another hide and shadows check.
A what?
Another hide and shadows.
Uh-oh.
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 She walks by, she looks over at you and says, "Ha! There you are! Well done." She then tries to fire a bolt of Monzaku energy at the branch you're sitting on and causes you to drop to the ground as she walks away. You can make a tumble check to just not get to land at your feet if you'd like, Nick.
I don't really care.
Okay. You go pull me out of
How
the
many
How
reasons
far-
to land in your ass?
Actually, how far away was Leonard from the rest of the group?
He was out in the trees, fairly near her, actually.
I was basically getting ready to attack her as she decided to attack us.
Yes.
Angrim will run underneath him, so he lands on her.
Well,
Thank you.
Anytime.
No, I don't care.
Jaxie looks over to Zarkov and walks over to him and just sort of pats him on the arm. Well, at least she didn't try to fight us. I would have wanted her to, take you out like she did last time.
Well, honestly, I don't trust her at all.
Oh,
Well, at least this way we have her where we can see her.
Jaxie just sort of like shrugs a little bit and leans and says, "You think I trust her?"
No,
Of course.
you're too smart to trust her.
I will say this actually reminds me of that one story arc we did when you were still in the ring, where you had to team up with your worst enemy to remember that one.
Oh yeah. It was still
Yeah.
a heel back then.
Yeah, exactly. I was copying parts of that sort of speech that we came up with.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I just
There's
had
less
to use
laughing and talking about making piles of bodies and stuff. But
I just had to substitute certain things, like substitute the title for the Seirin title with weapons of with the Book of Light, and with an insert rival wrestler here with mortals. It's a very simple parallel, actually.
yeah, I can't believe she fell for it now that you mention it.
So Ingram's going to pick herself up. Look at Leonard. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
Alright.
Why did you do that?
Why not?
Meh.
At which point, Jaxie sort of walks over to Leonard and Ingram. Well, that went differently than initially thought.
that was a Mazuku.
Oh, yes.
Vargas is just sort of sitting there.
Yes, that was, and Jaxie just got heads over to him. That was the Mazuku that we had to deal with to get the sword.
Ah, I see.
Yes. Hence why, he didn't immediately attack us.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Now do you understand kind of the why we had to resort to not being completely forthcoming about what's going on
no,
here?
I got exactly why that was earlier.
Yes.
She's
Well,
I'm glad she didn't hold a grudge about me punching her.
I think the fact that she knocked you out almost immediately, that she came close to knocking you out afterwards was enough.
She probably thought that was fair play, really.
Yeah. Varkas, I guess the question is, what are you planning on doing at this point?
Well,
I'm going to go home, tuck my head between my legs, and kiss my ass goodbye.
honestly, I've come up with a couple of ideas, sort of some things, a couple of items, artifacts that I noticed in the library that might be of use and might be able to help defend us until, you guys can...
Yes.
It might be able to help defend us against the sorcerers and such.
I mean, I guess. Well,
Also her, because we're going to have to fight her again.
Well, that's largely your problem, not mine.
Yes. That's that. Be that as it may, for the time being, he's not
So,
really
yes,
in a position. Where,
I'm planning currently on going after a couple of them and seeing maybe Yeah, that's my current theory.
Well, if you're planning on doing something similar to us, then chances are our paths will cross again.
Well,
Unless, of course, you plan on coming with us to help acquire some of these items.
probably not. If we do cross paths again, I will be more than happy to help you as long as it doesn't,
Endanger things unnecessarily.
Yes.
Yes. Well, again, that as soon as I saw her, I was like, okay, well, starting a fight here is probably not going to happen. But how can we dissolve this as cleanly as possible?
No. I will see you all again. Hopefully, I'll meet you all again in less unpleasant, less strange circumstances.
Quite.
Where that he sort of, packs up his stuff and nods to you and wanders off.
So what are we gonna have for breakfast again?
That's a
Going
good
back
question.
to bed.
Here. Doing face palming or something? Well, breakfast is a 35, whatever that means. Let's see here. Where's
You made cereal out of tree bark.
Well, he's
it'd
good
be
at
a
his
warm
job.
breakfast. It'd be like you made scrambled eggs without any eggs to scramble. You made them out of the ether. But yeah. Daxie will at least regard the others around the camp. Well, what artifact are we going to go for at this stage? I guess is the main first question. Anything?
Scene cut until Mecha can figure out what we are
Well,
going
yeah.
for.
Yeah. I guess
Basically, yeah. I will give you. I will come up with a few. I'll work up a few items for you guys to choose from for the next session.
and then Jackson will also mention like, well, hopefully that discussion didn't cause more harm than good, but I'm not sure how it could have. I had to. No, it was kind of funny at times too.
I was terrified during the whole thing.
Well, I think
Ingram is going to pat Leonard on the back softly.
while sleeping.
She hasn't gotten back to sleep yet.
Well,
Her bedroll kind of got fucked up when Zarkov hurled her like a rock.
Well, you froze Jaxie's hand. Also, you were mean to me.
You're the one who says mean things to me.
the point.
Okay, maybe I was a little mean too, but yeah, that hurt.
I think the point is that by, I guess, confusing her for the short term about her position in this whole thing is going to be the best tool we have to keep from an actual full-out attack. I mean,
I don't think she cares enough about us. We did basically what she wanted us to do, and so she doesn't need to bother with us.
quite. And I think the point is that, I guess, making it appear like we're useful pawns, or that she gains a benefit from, quote, helping us.
I don't think that's going to mean very much. What matters is we can't do anything to stop her, but what we're doing coincides with her goal, so she's probably not going to do anything to stop us.
Right. That's why I suggested, at the very least, not getting in our way as a meaningful solution. The helping us was basically me trying to overreach a little bit and imply that, well, she's already done it, so why not just keep on doing it?
If we're gonna have to deal with a Mazuku, I'd prefer to deal with one that can be reasoned with, and that I can sneak up on.
Yes, that was actually really good. Yes, well, for the time being, hopefully we won't run into her for at least a few days.
Indeed.
And then Jackson insists that Leonard has some eggs and bacon, which came from somewhere.
Eggs and bacon.
As Zarkov takes the plate that was intended for Leonard.
And Leonard makes another plate. Let's see
No,
there.
he's not going to do that. He's upset, but he's not petty.
Jaxie has food set aside specifically for Zarkov. That's what the big plate is for. And of course the yum spell, because why not? It's a 35. Might as well kick it up a notch. One of these days I'll figure out Leonard's trigger dish. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
Actually, before we proceed, Leonard, could I speak with you, please?
Yeah.
And she's just going to kind of motion over away from the cooking scene.
Drag. Yes,
When we were in the library explaining to Vargas, what did you mean? What were you implying
About what?
about motivations? Or something about collecting the things?
I know you want them for some reason.
Well, I would like to gain some insight into my personal position, since there's not a lot of literature about that. And I imagine the book could help me with that, but I don't really need to go so out of my way for it. We just happen to be doing that right now, and that would be convenient.
So why were you looking for this in the first place, then?
Like I said, it's what we're doing, and I like you a lot. Some of you can be a bit frustrating at times, she said, looking at Zarkov. But other than that, you know, it's I've never had friends. I hope you understand. It's difficult having years of memories that aren't your own. And the only memories that you do have are put through that filter.
So,
Whenever,
so what you're saying is that the reason we're going on through all this is because of Jaxie's decision.
More or less. Well, if it was for me, you wouldn't have come along now, would you?
I liked it better when there was some sort of selfish purpose behind this.
You never stop being adorable to me, you know that?
Apparently.
And she's just kind of smiling.
But for as great a headache as Zarkov seems to be determined to give me, I just had a chance to leave you guys to die, and instead I was getting ready to gouge that bitch's eye out, so what the hell was wrong with me?
I don't think there's anything wrong with you. Just things that are right.
This is why I don't keep company.
Because you start blushing.
Shut up. You don't know that.
She tugs at his scarf. Oh, yes,
Stop
I do.
Stop it!
Yes, I do.
Stop it! I'm not the Crimson Shadow because I blush. Shut up.
Wouldn't that be more of a scarlet anyway?
That's an interesting sound effect to end on.
Yeah. All right. I don't have much else really prepped per se because this was a sort of try to figure out where we're going to be going next session.
Right.
I will work up a couple of artifacts and such. Are you guys planning on going after the side artifacts first?
Yeah,
What-
I think
the
side
impression I
artifacts
got?
first.
Okay.
Yeah, side artifacts would be probably the goal.
We have a distinct lack of physical mojo to help us.
And that's perfectly reasonable, and that's one of the reasons I want to actually, I'm glad we got an angle. I'll work up a couple of artifacts. I'll probably bounce some ideas with you guys off stream also about it.
Sure.
If you guys come up with sort of ideas for things that you think might be a cool idea for something that you go after, let me know, and I'll see if I can work with it. That's gonna be it for this week for Slayers D20. Sorry, it's a little bit of a short session, but no combat. B,
Yeah.
everything else. You guys will level up. So
What the fuck, Skitch?
Damn it, on the joke roll.
you're rolling a champ on the joke rolls, man.
I know.
To be fair, this is a comedy game.
It's like okay, I'm saving that for a moment.
You're gonna stock that?
The premise being based on his reactions to other dishes, what would his favorite dish probably be?
I can see that, honestly. Anywho, thanks everyone for watching this. We'll be back next week with, I believe, Mutants and Masterminds. We record the role-playing games here on twitch.tv/MechaGM at 2 p.m. Eastern, roughly. That's usually when I get the stream up, at least. You can find previous recordings of the earlier episodes of this on mechagm.blogspot.com or on blip.tv/mechagm. You can find the old recordings of all that stuff there. As I said, we do an RPG every week on Saturdays. Our current rotation basically is Slayers D20, Mutants and Masterminds, and Iron Kingdoms in that order, and then we loop around. Thanks for joining us this week. Hope everybody had a good time. We'll be back next week with Mutants and Masterminds. Take care and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend.
Bye.